I'm going to reveal how you can get paid from car insurance companies and also break down which insurance stock is the most attractive right now. I've always been fascinated by car insurance as a business model, just thinking about how much these insurers make every single year from exploiting poor young male drivers. Especially when it is required in order to drive legally in the UK, it's effectively a tax for every driver, but instead of the money going to the government, it goes to the insurers instead. And before you say, well, public transport is great, you don't need a car to go to places, stop making excuses and get a license. More importantly, how can we get paid by these insurers? It's actually quite easy to get paid. In the stock market, businesses can pay something called a dividend. These dividends are usually part of the company's extra profits that are paid directly to shareholders. The beauty of dividends is that once you hold shares of a stock, it is a completely passive form of income. Okay, so how can we get paid dividends? More specifically, we would need to hold shares of a stock on something called the ex-dividend date. Imagine it as a register, and your name becomes eligible for the next dividend payment by being on this register on the ex-dividend date. After this point, even if you've sold the stock, the dividend will be paid to you on the dividend payment date. But wait, is there a way to make even more money on this? Well, maybe you're a bright spark and you've realized that you could buy shares on the ex-dividend date to get the dividend payment, and then you could sell the shares next day before the price drops to make easy money. Well, unfortunately, this does not work because everyone and their grandmother has also thought of the idea, meaning that shares typically fall by the value of the dividend immediately after the ex-dividend date. However, in the short term, the stock market is essentially betting on whether a share might go up or down, which we don't really know. Whereas in the longer term, aka many years, maybe 20 years, shares follow the trend of profit growth, making it less of a gamble over time. So what if my insurance cost £400 a year? How many shares of a stock would I need to have my car insurance be paid fully by the insurers? Well, it depends. Stocks have different dividend payments, but also different share prices. This means that the dividend yield of Apple could be 1%, but the dividend yield of Lloyds Bank could be 5%. Aviva is the second largest UK insurer with a market share of 10.6%. They have a dividend yield of 7.9%. This means that for every £100 invested in Aviva's stock, you'd receive around £7.90 a year in dividend income. So, to cover my car insurance cost, I would need approximately £5,053 invested in Aviva shares, which is around 1,230 shares. However, dividends are much riskier than bank account interest, so it's important to understand why this is. This is because a stock price can go up or down, sometimes significantly, unfortunately like my investment in Boohoo. Whereas cash in a bank account is secure, the value can't go up or down, and the only thing impacting the value is inflation of the spending power of the cash over time. Although we are also assuming that Aviva doesn't see any future profit growth and therefore does not increase its dividend payments in the future, which, if we look at the last 10 years, Aviva on average has grown its dividend by 8.1% per year. When looking at the dividend cover of 1.2 times, it means that the overall profits are greater than the overall dividend payments, suggesting some sustainability in the dividend payment. If a company has a fall in profits, it's likely that they will cut their dividend. So it's important to not only identify stocks that have a sustainable dividend payment, but also growing or stable earnings. Which brings me on to Direct Line, the third largest car insurer at a 10.2% market share. If you'd have invested in Direct Line stock in April 2023, you'd be looking at a near 6% dividend yield, which is pretty attractive. It would have taken around £6,600 to get paid a yearly dividend that covers my insurance costs of £400 a year. However, this car insurer has struggled in the last few years following an underestimation of inflation, meaning prices were not increased enough in order to maintain good capital levels. This has led to the company suspending and cancelling its dividend payments. This goes to show that nothing is guaranteed by investing in stocks and shares, and that there is a level of risk around. So, how can we get paid annual dividend income to cover our car insurance bill, but also reduce the risk that, let's say, the dividend gets cut? Well, we could look towards a more quality company like Admiral. They are the market leader in car insurance with a market share of 11.3%. They also have a disciplined approach in that they participate in risk sharing. Now, this isn't unique in insurance companies, but the way Admiral approaches this is unique, as it is a key feature of their business model, meaning a majority of the risk is underwritten through co-insurance, meaning that Admiral can retain a significant portion of the profits, keep access to the customer data, but also reduce their financial risk. Now, investors are aware that Admiral is of a good quality, and therefore the stock is more expensive. We can easily see how it's more expensive by comparing the dividend yield of Admiral to Aviva. If you remember that Aviva has a dividend yield of 7.9%, when compared to Admiral's dividend yield of 4% including specials, it's half that of Aviva. Therefore, it would take £10,000 invested in Admiral to pay off my insurance cost of £400 a year. But Oz, you've told me that the stock market is risky. How can I get a share of dividend income without having to worry about picking the right stocks? Well, fortunately, there is a solution. The S&P 500 contains the largest 500 companies in the US, which of course make money across the whole world. We're talking about companies such as Google, McDonald's, Costco, and Nike, for example. This allows someone to invest in stocks and shares, but also reduce the chances of picking a dud investment and losing all their money. The S&P 500, of course, has a lower dividend yield of 1.6%, so it would take a lot more money, which would be around £25,000, to pay off my yearly insurance bill. But at least I could sleep easier knowing that my money is working for me and diversified amongst some of the biggest companies in the world. After all, if the S&P 500 fell by an extreme amount, I've probably got nuclear war to worry about, and money at that point probably doesn't matter as much. Okay, so maybe you're wanting to get started and invest in stocks and shares. Do I know of a good stock broker? Well, yeah, click here to learn about the best stockbroker in the UK.